What's going on this morning, family? Black Feniks checking in. I wanted to talk to you about my Marcus Garvey approach in welding. And I want to use those terms because one of my followers really put me up on something actually. Um, I follow Marcus Garvey. He's he was a very great leader, activist, entrepreneur, publicist, speaker that was from Jamaica and did a lot of great things in Africa. And he wasn't only someone who spoke words that was profound or that gave wisdom and showed his intelligence, but he was a man of action. Like, not only did he speak something, he lived it. He believed in it enough where you could tell that this was his lifestyle. And I appreciate the fact that um, my guy seen me in a Marcus Garvey um, persona when it comes to welding. And honestly, man, I'm just making a pure approach. I just feel like someone have to come with an approach that can help us from a different level. Everybody got their cup of tea, so to speak. I'm just giving you what helped me, that helped me get over the hump. And I realized the importance and the power of welding, while I was working for others. And, like I said at first, it was just a job, just a job. I was able to get a couple nice things and, you look nice and somebody can say, man, they doing good over there. You know what I mean? Got you a nice house or whatever, you know what I mean? But what do you really have? To me, I think it just made a person be real conceited and just focus on how much more I can get, what I can add, what new rims I can put on the truck. You know what I'm saying? Just, I don't know. Sometimes, we get caught up in a vain reality, of our existence. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with having material possessions at all because God blessed all those who followed him and obeyed him with blessings. Like he made sure that what the skill that he gave them also gave them riches. They was able to make finances and business decisions that helped them be more wealthier. And to me, I think that's important too because that goes back to saying you got to use what you got and you got to critique something. Like I say, some of my brothers come from the hood. A lot of us, didn't graduate high school. You know, Never even thought about no college. You know what I mean? Um, Half of us can read, half of us can't. You know, and but we tired of doing it. Just these little jobs on these assembly lines, just to say, man, we got a job. But we're like, man, life got to be a little bit more. And some of us be scared of the flames. So that's why welding is so universal because some people just want to tell you, hey, you can do that if that's what you want to do. You know, so you have many flexibilities for welding, from stick welding, from MIG welding / flux core welding, and from TIG welding. It depends on what you like. You like making sculptures, you like making art, you like making structures, you like making things that people actually use and tools, things of that nature. You know what I mean? It's so much you can do. So I think we shouldn't limit ourselves with, oh, I'm just gonna do this one thing. You know what I mean? Because there's so much we can do with welding that it can literally take our life to the level where we can be more financially stable. We can break some generational curse and actually teach our people how to be independent. And it ain't necessarily all about welding. I don't want you to get caught up thinking that because welding can just be a tool you use that open up other doors and business ideas and ventures that you've been wanting to do. But you use the capital, the earned income you get from welding to make this possible. And I think that's what it's all about, you know what I mean? Is to not just use welding as a job, not just use it as a tool just to make some things around the garage, around the house. You can actually make some things you can sell at a garage sale, yard sale. You can start small. Craigslist, Facebook marketplace on different sites. It's so many things you can do, but you have to do. Like the main thing about anything is to have actions. And once you make your mind up that hey, this is what you want to do. Because if you don't know, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. I had to understand that. It took me a while to really get the true meaning of that. That a double-minded man, you have to make up your mind and say, hey, I'm gonna do this. Now, a entrepreneur, a grinder, an innovator, you're gonna change your mind on certain ideas when certain things hit you. But as far as your mission, you know what your mission is. You focus. You know what I mean? You know you can't straddle the fence, because if you straddle the fence, you might mess around and cut yourself. I've been there too. You see what I'm saying? So I feel that we have to use everything that we have learned and had embraced and had suffered or went through or been denied of. We use all of that to build where we're going. And welding, like I said again, is just a tool we use. I enjoy welding and fabrication. I enjoy the installing. I enjoy thinking outside of the box. I enjoy, manipulating the rods and making things, work. I enjoy it, but my true passion is in, like I say, making products, making things, making something that I just came over with, or something that I can improve, that makes something else better, or whatever the situation is. And a lot of times, my, I would say, toughest hours would be just when things are not going as, when you used to making things happen and you have to just slow down and just wait, those are tough times when I just have to can't do nothing but wait, you know what I mean? But I think that's where we get our strongest at, because even though we have to wait, we can be working on something else, or bettering our skills, or enhancing what we already got. You see what I'm saying? Instead of just saying, hey, I'm just going to throw in the towel while I'm waiting. There's a lot of things you can do. I told a guy one time, we was riding and talking, and this was we had like a 45-minute ride. And he had a page where he was selling stuff. So I tell him, hey man, you should put these targets on there. I'm gonna shoot them to you. While we was talking, driving, I shot him like 4 pictures. And he's like, oh yeah, I got these. We talk, I said, what you waiting on? I'm gonna wait till I get to the house. I'm like, we got 45 minutes to drive. Why you can't post them now? By the time you get to the house, you might get hit or something. Somebody might hit you. He was like, I never really thought about that. I'm like, man, why you wasting time? You know what I mean? Go on, do it. I sent you everything you need. All you gotta do is copy and paste. That simple. He wanted to wait. Did this shit. By the time we made it to the house, he got a hit. Now, that would have never happened if he would have waited till he got to the house. There's no telling what else would have happened. Then he would have pushed it off. And then sometimes, man, we have to do what we can do while we doing something else. You know what I mean? Like, while you in the motion, sometimes you have to just stop. It's kind of like you at light. You at the light. The engine's still running, but you listen to the radio now. You got to wait for a second, but you're doing something. You might be doing this, checking out. All right, it ain't ready yet. Like, great, now you take off. You see what I'm saying? But it ain't like you cut the engine off. You take the seatbelt off, and you just jump out the car at the light. You see what I'm saying? So when you get to the light, it's a temporary stop. Something else have to go on in life. Someone else have to take a turn. Someone else have to, you have to wait your time. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to get a time, So the best way to think about it is just like when you at a stoplight, honestly, that's a great scenario, because once you get there, we don't cut the engine off and take the seatbelt off and just jump out. Nah. We put our foot on the brake, might cut the radio up a little bit, might move something in the ashtray, might hit something over here, might check the phone real quick. Oh yeah, so-and-so just hit me. Hey man, I'm gonna hit you back in a minute. Whatever the situation is, we have to multitask like that with our welding skills, with our education. Not just learning just all about welding, because you got to learn the business. That's why I teach both. That's why I talk about both, because I want you to use the skills to build a business. Because me personally, I'm not going to tell you, you know, hey, let's go get a job. Everybody want to get a job, but that's not what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say build your business. Or get a job until you're ready to build your business. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Use a job as a stepping stone. I'm not gonna say, hey man, go sell out to a job. I'm not gonna tell you that because I don't believe in it. My grandfather, who I love dearly, is a World War II veteran. Salute to all of my veterans, all the fallen soldiers. He's a World War II veteran. And he never preached to me about going to the war. He never preached to me about working for someone. He preached to me independence, fear God, have a skill, something I like to do my own thing, be good at it, treat people right. You know what I mean? Like this, what he taught me, I realized that I have to perfect it and teach my grandkids. You see what I'm saying? And my kids. Because to me, he laid down some solid rules. It was some things I want to say everything was correct. You know what I mean? He was a black man from the South. My grandfather was a tall, black, handsome man, I would say, from the South. And he had women problems, you know what I mean? He had a wife, but he had other women. Everybody had a deal. But when it came to treating people fairly and helping the next man and teaching me how to pray and teaching me how to live, and man, that man taught me some valuable things. And regardless of how it went, I remember while I was in prison, he passed. But before my grandfather died, he came to visit me. And I was able to just look him in the eyes and just say, hey, I apologize. I apologize for what I put you through. I apologize for not listening. And I never forget him looking at me, smiling, shaking his head, said, grandson, it's okay. It's part of life. We all got our stages, and he just knew that that was a stage I had to go through. But he felt that that stage was going to take me to another level. I didn't see it, honestly. It took a while, you know what I mean? So even with me dropping these videos, I do them organically. Like, I don't have no coach in the background. I don't read no script. I just, if I think of something, I think of the topic. I don't even write the topic down. I just think of it and I remember it, and I just say, hey, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. Or man, that's something good to talk about, because I experienced it, and I feel like the best subjects are, the best lessons are learned, not necessarily bought, like an education. Sometimes when you go through something, it can teach you something way more valuable than you paying for some education sometimes. But you need that too. So I'm not just saying, oh, just get it all rough. Nah, you don't want to get it all rough. I heard a guy said it's better to learn from others' mistakes than all of yours, because you won't live long enough to learn from all of your mistakes. So learn from someone else's. So don't think that you just got to go get it hard and bump your head all the time. Hey, step back, learn from another, learn from someone else. I used to heard a guy say you can learn a lot from a dummy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, watch them. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to watch and look, listen, and learn, But I just feel like my Marcus Garvey approach as far as showing how to turn a trade into a business, how to use welding to free yourself, to be a better man, to break curses, and to, because there's so much tied into it, it's, we don't want to just look at things in one eye, in one direction, because it's a big spectrum, you know what I mean? We as black men, man, we have been scarred for generations, you know what I mean? And if we don't break that curse, that it just keep going and going. So it ain't like, you might fix everything in this one life, but you might fix it to a point where your son or your daughter can take it to the next level, I remember a story that I like to read in the Old Testament when it talks about David having wasn't able to build a temple. and he had the things and he wanted to build it, but God said it wasn't for you. I want you to set it up so that your son can do it. I got some great things lined out for him. You know what I mean? And he had to be humble and say, you know what? I didn't did what you wanted me to do. I can't jump in my son's light and say, hey man, I'm gonna be greedy. I'm gonna do it all. He had to do his part. And I think that's what we get caught up at, trying to do the next man's part or trying to play a role that's not ours. And we get frustrated and hating or want to get envious or jealousy or whatever the situation is. People trolling, being hateful for no reason. You know, I just feel like we have to embrace the fact that we got to take this thing as a process and we have to learn from one another. We have to learn from these situations that we go through. And we have to know that in order for us to really get there, we got to put the work in, you know, like the preacher say. And, you know, in the South, I used to always hear him, you know, they say faith without works is dead. But I don't really think people really fully get what he's saying. You know, faith without works, you know, it's good to believe. But what are you doing? You know, your faith should show your conversation, which is not just talking. Conversation also means lifestyle. So certain parts of certain words, you know, that's another thing that we have to realize. A word have many definitions. Just because you was raised that this means this, and that contents and the way it was used, it could mean a totally different thing. But we have to, you know, grow and get educated and allow ourselves the time to process this information, you know, because you're going to be challenged, man. Listen, if I can tell you anything, as a black man, you are going to be challenged with the things that you was raised, the traditions, the way you was taught. And a lot of the stuff you was raised with was lies. And you're going to have to come to truth with that. You're going to have to embrace that fact that they wasn't trying to lie to you, a lot of them. It's just that lie was passed down to them. And they thought it was truth. And they believed it and they stood on it. And it's going to come to a time where somebody got to say, hey, this is a lie, man. This is not the way it go. And somebody got to take a stand. And you might want to take that stand and might want a whole lot of people to have your back. But it's not going to go like that. We're probably going to be left standing alone a lot of times. And frustrated and mad at people because they don't get it. But remember, man, just because you are awoke doesn't mean it's your purpose to wake somebody else. You the light, you know, and that's what I realized a while back, that I'm a light. And I have to be the light that, you know, God designed me to be in the way that I feel it should go, you know, because we all got a choice. And I don't try to, I realize all it's going to do for me is get me bitter or mad if I try to wake you up, even though I know what you're doing, it might hurt you, or, hey man, get up, so-and-so coming. I can't do it. I have to allow the person to wake up. And once they wake up, they're like, damn, I can't see nothing. I got a light over here. I'm over here. I can get you over here to this door. Now what you do after the end is all on you. I found the light. You got to cut your light on. You know, a lot of us, we are born with a purpose. Everybody's purpose are different. I don't think people are just vain people. I think everybody got a purpose. Some people live it and some people don't. You know, some people's purpose might be small within that community. Some people might be big, you know, you never know. But using whatever platform you get to really help someone else and to really help yourself, because it's a give and take. We all know that we got bills to pay. We got things to do. So, you know, when our true leaders give platforms of wisdom in ways we can make money, in ways we can do things, we have to support that too. You know, that's why I say I support black businesses, even if it's a little bit more expensive, because I get it. You know, it's harder. You know, it is what it is, you know. So, but I just enjoy the fact that they're not asking for handouts. You know, we ain't on the corner with a sign saying, give me some change. I'm hungry. Anything to do. Nah, we out here trying to do it. We might fall on our face, we get back up and do it again. I think that as long as you haven't got to that level, that's giving up. I ain't saying nothing wrong to ask for some help, but to make it a career, I done seen people, man, even since I've been in Oklahoma City, I have seen people seem like certain corners, they keep the corner down like it's a job. I'm like, damn, they be like rotating the corner, don't they? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Some of the ones you see and it's just what it is, but you don't have to give up like that. Some people use that as they hustle. To each his own. I just don't want to use no person. I don't want to get over on you. I want to help you and make a profit. I want to help you with what I'm doing and make money, still be able to do what I'm doing. I don't want to put you in a situation where you in a bad place in life just so I can say, ooh, I won, I'm eating. Nah, man, I ain't with all that. You know what I mean? That's why I stopped being a car salesman, you know what I mean? Because I'm not going to sell you something I don't know nothing about. And then say, hey man, this is good, just so I can get this company, make them money and put you in debt. And, people that sold their own kids out so they can get a commission. I'm just not with it. Like I said, I would rather make my own products. I would rather work off my own steam or have my own service where I have my group of guys that I'm teaching. We got a business and we doing our thing. Like, I want to do something different. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to use you. You know what I mean? We can use one another. We can work together. We can network and build something. But I don't want to use no one. But to each his own with that. But I just feel like we have to use what we got in welding or whatever your trade is, mixed with something else, mixed with the education of business. Like, we got to learn business. Like, it's important. Like, and it's so many depths to business. So don't get overwhelmed when you jump into it, because I'm telling you, it is, you'll learn something new your whole life. But watch what's going on. Watch what's going on with this COVID-19 situation. Watch what's going on with this government and our debt and these stimulus checks and this rumors of wars and the stuff we got going on with China. Man, watch what's going on. Watch what's going on in Africa. Like, keep your eyes open on just more than just what's in front of you, because this is a bigger picture. We all getting affected in some form, fashion. We're all gonna be held accountable for our actions in some form of way. So, just watch what's going on. Just be conscious and don't think one dimensional. Always be thinking ahead. Always, they might see you at A, but you already on D. You see what I'm saying? You already ahead of the game, and it takes time. And I ain't gonna lie to you, like, right now I just moved to a new city. I haven't been here a week yet, but it feels like I've been here a month. It's just been like raining, and I kind of got to stand still and wait to, do things and waiting on stuff. I'm in my waiting season period, and that's that season where you can even let it stress you out, okay? You can let it help you out. I like the way you use that. You can stress you out, or it can help you out. As far as you can allow it to make you depressed, or you can use it to come up with ideas. Like I was showing you about my idea I was working on with the welding booths. I think it's a good idea because I couldn't find one that was actually affordable and neat. And so I'm like, you know what? I want to build my own and sell my own to help my welders be better welders and help people be teachers in their own community. Because if we can teach ourselves, man, just think how hard we can be. You got the local guy that got a shop, and people come down there and learn every night after closing. And, they gain skills. Now you come back and help him out. You see what I'm saying? I remember my cousin to this day, my cousin Sam, love him to death. My dad, who me and him don't talk, but he taught my cousin some skills on how to work on cars while I was in prison. And my cousin was smart enough where he took it to a different level. Like, so he's a dope mechanic. He can do some, he can do anything when it comes to breaking stuff down mechanically and putting it back together. And he used that. And I remember one time, my aunt came to visit me, his mom, and told me that he was mad because my dad promised him some money to work on his vehicle with him, and he didn't pay him. And they worked out all day, and She told him, she was like, well, Sam, you did get paid. He was like, no, he didn't. He didn't pay me. He said, look what you learned. Well, he said he was going to pay me this and this, and my dad should have paid him. But he didn't in that situation for some reason. I don't know the whole story. But my aunt told him, look at what you learned. And she said that he sat there and thought about it and didn't ever say anything about it again and kept helping my dad. He didn't even get mad no more. My dad helped him, cool. If he didn't, he did. But he realized that he was teaching him something that he couldn't get nowhere else. Saying work on cars on the side, make money. Like, he always got to hustle. And it's crazy that that's what it is, but it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? So we just have to utilize that teaching that we get from someone sometimes, and realize how great it is to have that trade, because that's an essential. Everybody own a vehicle, an older one or a newer one, and especially, us Southern blacks and a lot of blacks, we like to buy older vehicles and maintain them. I love them to the day. Now I got like it's still an older vehicle, but I got an '04. Normally I have a 90 something, 80 something model fixed up, but I got an '04 and it's an older truck, but it's well maintained. I like the the twerks and the upgrades on the 2004 actually, for a good work truck. But like I say, it's to each his own on how they build and how you do your thing. I just want to give you a different outlook on it, using welding, using my skills and my experiences of what I actually face out here. So when you go back on my archives and you do some digging, you'll see where I started it. Like, so if I get to this certain level, don't think that I got there overnight. It was a process, and I showed you the process.